going on to
Hey, hey,
Well, hi, ladies.
hi, hi.
Hello.
Seem like I'm always adjusting my chair.
I'm always adjusting. This a part of the menopause life. I'm adjusting because I can't sit on my hip for so long. I got to move over here and
Well, I'm displaced for a little while
oh, are you?
till I change my office. So
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm a hard person to adjust. I'll just be honest with you. I'm a hard person to adjust, and if, um, I did it at first because like when my son was living here and this was like I don't give myself kudos, but my son's friend, they was going to move into the townhouse, so they stayed in our house to that town the other people left. So I had to give him my office for like a month for him to sleep in my office. And when I tell you I complained every day. Look, Keith was like, can you please? It's just another 2 weeks, please. But I'm a creature of habit. I really am. And I found myself not being very pleasant because I wanted my
Like
space.
because you were displaced. Yeah, no, I can see that.
I
Yeah.
remember that. No.
My jacket is all wrinkled,
I'm
y'all.
saying I don't adjust well to stuff like that. And then I had to like move my stuff to my room, and my room Keith had the window so he could look out the window. I was in the dungeon corner. You know what I mean? I was just not a very happy camper. But
It is a big difference. It's a big difference. If
yeah,
it's messed up at work, I can't function. Like I have to have it a certain way. So I
yeah,
get it.
telling you. So, I hope you get undisplaced soon. You know what I mean? But we do everything for our family. So, it
That
comes
we do.
it
That we
comes
do.
with wavering as well. All right. So this topic today, I'm gonna jump right into this one. I think this was from you, Keisha. Modern relationships. Woo, that was a little scary one when I just was like, modern relationships. What the hell do I have? I'm just thinking,
Got an old school relationship.
what?
Well, this is modern relationship structures. And well, relationships itself is hard.
Yeah.
When you even have two parents in the house, or even if you have a divorce and you have separate households.
Yeah.
But we're talking about modern relationship structures. We're talking about really purposefully, or at least in one person's mind, purposefully creating families or being with people to have a family, but not necessarily want to be with them. And what does that entail, or how does that affect their children? Or maybe the other person who's involved in it. So really, it kind of stuck with me when I was listening to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who was on Pam Newton's podcast.
Uh-huh.
So he was talking about how he wanted more children, and she asked him, "Well, how many does he have?" And he said he had eight. At the time, he has eight, and he has three different mothers for that. And she asked, but he said he wanted more, and she was like, "Well, explain more about this thing." He's like, "I just want the children to come." He said he didn't want to get married, but he wanted to have children, and she said, "Well, you want to have broken families or broken homes." And so that is kind of the debate, because she said, "Well, you know, are you being selfish? Is he being selfish?" Because he said, "Well, I'm just taking my time." So she said, "You're taking your time in one aspect, meaning not getting married, but you're very active in another aspect, meaning having children. And what does that do?" So I thought about it, because I know because my dad had children before he married my mom, I got the best out of the other two children as far as having my dad there, because I had him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Did not do for his other children, or was not there, but it's a total difference. And I realized that I got to have the advantages, I want to say. And so she was saying, if you find someone to get married to, well, what they get to have you there, what does they do to this? So, ladies, what are your thoughts and opinions on that? She also talked to Nick Cannon. I saw that was on a clip that she talked to him as well. So, what are your thoughts?
I
I
think
mean,
it's selfish. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it's selfish because I think that 8 children, okay, and he wants to conceive more, okay. 3 different families are now in this struggle for his attention because he only one person that has to be father, and I'm gonna say fatherly to these children, not just monetarily supporting them, but I mean being there to help raise children is a full-time damn job, okay? And I'll tell anybody because I was a single parent. I went from being a family and then being divorced and being that single mom for a while. And then from there, my ex-husband procreated and made a new family. You know what I mean? And I could tell you the I'm not even talking about the money part. I'm talking about the lack of being in their lives. You know what I mean? That my kids used to even come back and say, you know what I mean? Well, maybe that one to get to have more time with him. He'll be present. He'll be around.
Yeah.
That's not nothing I'm making up. You see what I'm saying? That's something
Right.
that he caused. You see what I'm saying? He caused that. So when I look at Cam Newton and I look at Nick Cannon, those two particularly, you know what I mean? Out here just making it like it's just okay to do that because I have money. Well, think about the people doing this and they don't have money because y'all are in the same boat. You see what I'm saying? You're stretched to the point where even if you had the intention, humanly possible, you can't give what is actually needed. So my thought is selfish. Chauncey.
um, I think that them, meaning them with high value men,
Mhm.
who have income, I think that they are in the same storm as the other men, but they're certainly not in the same boat. And the reason being is that they feel like because they have the financial means to care for multiple children, that makes it less toxic or less traumatic for their children, right?
Yeah.
Being a product of a blended family and having a blended family of my own, I definitely understand this. But I also feel like, yes, you are being selfish simply because even for me, from a biblical perspective, the Bible says a man can't master 2 homes. And so I heard in the interview with Cam and Dr. Bryant that the children live with him, as if that still makes it better, but it doesn't, because then now some of them are not with their mothers. So you have still created this broken home. No matter how much finances are there, it doesn't keep the home from being broken. And so what do you do for them? What can you do for them, and can you have an open and honest conversation about that? And then I hear the men that throw up that women don't want to hear this, but you can have multiple wives and even if you talk about the cultures that have that, those men that are allowed multiple wives also have everyone living under one roof, and they have the financial means to care for each and every one of them.
You're not
But
doing
it is a cultural thing. It's not here in the US. So let's not pretend that that's what it is that you're doing. And I also resent that you got with this woman and purposefully decided that you're going to have all these children, because I don't believe that that's necessarily the case. I think people are getting pregnant and having babies like they always have, but not necessarily doing it on purpose, unless it is a woman who has decided, I want this high value man, I want that high value man, I want that high value man, I'm going to have a baby by him, and I'm going to have a baby by him, and I'm going to have a baby by him. That's, to me, when it is done on purpose, because you have to have 2 people that agree that this is what's going to happen. And I just don't believe that you went to a woman and said, okay, now I want to go with another woman and go make some babies with her. So I think that it's disingenuous, and that's what I have to say about it.
so that's
I just think if we looked at if we use some of the old values that we had when we looked at relationships, because I think as soon as he heard what he heard, that
mhm.
doctor told him, he had a ha ha moment because
Mhm.
he felt like crap in the
Mhm.
middle of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He said, "You're selfish, and guess what? You can't be everywhere at one time." And he just looked like, "Damn,
Because
I ain't even
what
thinking
should
about
come back from that? What should come
didn't
back?
really think about it like that because you doing all of this and being selfish. So I think if we did a little bit of old school and made people understand how this is going to damage this child or this situation long term, that maybe people wouldn't do the things that they do now.
I have a
Just
question.
women
I'm
about
on that one too, because it's probably tying in what you said, Celeste, what you said, Chauncey, and definitely what you said, Keisha. When did you decide as a woman that it was okay to keep having babies by somebody who wasn't committing to you?
See, that's what I was getting ready to get to, Kim, because I'm thinking maybe she thinks, well, that's that it's not going to happen to me, especially that, oh, that was,
No, I
and
one
maybe, or maybe the first, well, let's go to the first, maybe the first person said, well, I think that he's going to be together. Maybe it was in his mind all along, but she was thinking something totally different.
but he sound clear. He sound clear with not being able to commit.
But
No, he
first
sounds
baby
clear
he was with her
now.
for a long time. The first one,
Right.
he was with
Yeah.
her for a long time, and he had more children with the first one than the rest of them. So like her. I think she's a victim in all of this because
Yes.
I followed Cam for a long time because I used to I mean, I love football and I love him as a football player. He was with her for a long, long time. Now, it doesn't
I
make
He
a
never
don't think I
committed.
don't think she's a victim. I don't think she's a
He
victim.
never committed.
I know he's not committed, but I say this as a victim in the point where hoping, you know what I mean, that somebody is because you see them through their career, ups, down, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Look, I'll be honest with you. I know plenty of people who are stuck in there with people that are not married to them or anything else. They got a whole family and so on and so on. But I think that when we start to hear men act like this is a right that you can go ahead and make all these children, I think that's where the intersection comes into play. You see what I'm
You
saying?
think so? Yeah, I
Because there's
don't.
a whole
I
bunch
think
of
the
women out here having babies. I mean, what did we just talk about? Joey, what Chavis? What's going on there? You see what I'm saying?
but
People
see, that's
kicking
why
out,
I
wait,
feel
1 second. People kicking out babies, you know what I mean? Acting like it's okay because you are financially providing for these children. And that doesn't mean that this is a real family. This is terrible. That's what's going on. And we look, we just demonize um Joey Chavis and a whole bunch it's a whole slew of these women going on out here with these different rich men, you know what I mean, having babies after babies after them. But isn't that the first time we really had an in-depth conversation about a male and having these until she really had this conversation with Cam Newton?
I heard one.
Huh?
I can't remember another one.
That's the
the one with Nick Cannon was before this one. So I saw the one with Nick Cannon, and
I
she did
thought
the same thing to him, but
it
he was first. And I think that by him being first, then it challenged Cam to bring her on with him, and he just saw it as an opportunity to just like possibly challenge. But I only part I would differ with you, Kim, is I feel like it's equal responsibility on the man and the woman, regardless of the situation. And I know that women have hung him with men, and he says that he has a fear of marriage and that his fear of marriage is greater than that of having children. Or you can put it in whatever way that you want. Your parents are still together, your parents are married. So for you having this fear of marriage, whatever the reason
A
may
whole
be,
grown man.
you know what I mean? But then I look at his age and I'm just kind of like, okay, so like when do we say, you're supposed to get out of this particular trait or whatever the case may be? I just feel like women are also satisfied with not having the piece of paper because people love to say it's just a piece of paper. And you just don't really truly understand the protections that come with that piece of paper. And so it doesn't guarantee that your relationship is going to last any
I don't believe
longer
that.
or anything like that.
I
But
Fast if you got a piece of paper.
I'm just saying it when people say it's a piece of paper, that's because they treat it like a piece of paper.
exactly,
So,
exactly,
so
exactly.
let me just clarify one thing. I'm not siding with a woman or a man, but I can tell you one thing, and we had this conversation in the previous episode. If you get pregnant, the final decision is going to be that woman's. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody
Exactly.
drag me nowhere and make me do anything I don't want to do. What you thought the outcome was going to be maybe that's your that maybe that satisfies you at night. But what I don't like is when we try to demonize women and say that, you know what, you should have did something here because you already know. I just really would like to know, did he even have a conversation with them about this?
No,
Because
because he said that
you see what I'm saying? Like,
It
did you
wasn't
go with
required.
Nick Cannon? We got to think about Nick Cannon. Those women was fully aware, you know what I mean, well,
Oh,
what
yeah.
was going on, fully aware. And I thought that Nick Cannon, nobody can change my mind about this, honestly. I thought Nick Cannon was making all those kids because he needed for his health. And I think that he was getting
But
the stem cell from these babies
but
because
Kim,
he was kicking them out like what, he got 10 or 12 now?
and I still think that because we have a tendency to think we are special, we are the one. We are going to change his mind no matter what he
That
says.
was the
We might
one.
have had that conversation with him, but we have the tendency to say, well, you know, he said that. He don't mean that because I'm going to get him to change his mind because I am the one and I am special.
Right.
And that's
And
where a
that
lot
goes,
of women make that mistake that I
yeah.
am special. I am the one. Listen to his actions show you. You can't go with what he said because he's also saying, I can mold a woman to what I want them to be. I always, well, what did Nick would say? I show my representative. One of them. It didn't
And
make
doesn't that go back to, doesn't that feed back to emotional maturity for all of us?
Mhm.
At the end of the day, it just means that from an emotional maturity perspective, neither one of us had it. Even if we thought that we didn't have it.
right.
Because one, as the female, the one who's giving birth, would not accept that. And two, as the male, would not put that on her. And so that's what it boils down to, right? And so I'm willing to protect you. I'm willing to have these children with you, but I'm not willing to marry you. And like I said, after two, okay, you had two. Okay, but now 3 and 4 and 5,
Right. This is true.
The first girlfriend has about 4.
yeah,
So
so
like I
that's
said,
my point.
that's a lot of kids. But I really think too, I really think that like if somebody tell you who they are, you should believe them. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. You should believe them. You know, why do you think that when you look at somebody like Nick Cannon, married to Mariah Carey, has 2 children, you know what I mean? Family structure, and then he fall off. You know what I mean? He, you know, they don't make it. And then he go make another baby. Okay, you did it. You made another baby. That's fine. Then 6 months later, somebody else is pregnant. What was person number
That's nasty.
Two or three
That's what
children a
happened.
year. Yeah.
Number 2
Children a year.
You see what I'm saying? Now we down to the person damn near number 5. You know what I mean? So, okay. So did you think you were special? I mean, but you know you're gonna be paid, and paid for until the money run out. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, did you think that that was going to be a long-term solution? And then the last girl, which was the little pretty black girl, she was the one bucking because she was like, I need you to spend more time with me and the baby. But he got 7 women ahead of you.
Again, she saw that. Now that the last one always see what's going on. The
She was
first one might not have, but the last one definitely saw.
But instead of her feeling that way before she had the baby, she still had the baby first and then turned around and did the same. So then now you're just a bunch of breeding machines. And so that's what it and then by our own men, like, really? Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I still say it goes back to old school. I hate to say this, morals and standards, because that kept us a little bit. You would say to yourself, like, I can't keep having these babies. These people are going to think I'm, but now it's okay to be with the baller and be set up in the house and going on, and the kid suffers.
Or where is the woman that we don't
giving you money, but the dude that's hanging on the corner selling drugs that can't give you illegal money or give you a little extra more than you can get from this person? You still done sold yourself, and guess what? You done took away what your children need. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But so, all right, fine.
And let's just be
another one. 70. This could be a 70-hour one too. Because to me, I think it's trauma to people that they don't understand that at the end of the day, you got to be selfless when it comes to children. And that means just to make a decision to procreate with this person that you're going to hope and wish and make them into somebody that they're not. You see what I'm saying? That's where I feel like is the biggest problem. You know what I mean? So, again, good luck to these people, but Godspeed to these children because they are the collateral damage with all of this stuff going on with them. Rich or not, you still got this. We still got the same responsibility as parents. We got to love them. We got to nurture them. We got to make sure they're healthy. We got to make sure they're mentally sound. All these things that, to me, if you got a strong two-parent, to fight off all the other things that goes on in the world, you're in a better position. So hats off to them. So who has the final thought?
That was my final thought. My final thought was give the child a fighting chance. Give the children a fighting chance. There are things that the man needs to give the children that the female can't. They say we can raise boys, and but there's something missing. Children look at the other sex and the same sex as a role model. Give them that at least in the same house. Let them see the bad and the good and all that stuff. Don't have them split between houses if we can help it. Don't do it intentionally. That's just my thing. It's modern day. I know we don't judge like we used to, but give the kids a chance. Let them make their own decisions when they get old if they don't want to be bothered with the parents. You know what I'm saying? But it's terrible. I'm sorry.
The way things go now, they make it real easy for them not to be bothered with the parents.
Yeah, and then they feel less than. And my parent is and he didn't see me, and she didn't see me.
Undercover.
It's not fair.
They're over there doing something they know.
And guess what? I had a rough time as a mom with a husband. I can't imagine being without a husband.
I'm telling you.
Or without a commitment.
And each child is different. My grandma used to tell me that each child is different. You
very much so.
You will definitely see. So, Keisha.
I would say pay attention to the actions and not the words. Because they can offer you the moon, the sky, the stars, all the planets. But you can tell by their actions, their previous actions, if they're not making a change. Pay attention to that.
That is
make these decisions to have children with someone that do not want to be committed to you.
That is so true.
Money.
He look, this is always a red flag to me. You get involved with somebody and he talking shit about the other baby mama. You're gonna be the next person they talk about when you the baby mama too. I'm just saying, don't take you know what? Because everybody ain't gonna be wrong. I'm telling you, life experience. If you hear that person you dating and you haven't made a child with them or anything, and they have all she wants is my money, and you actually look at the person and say, well, they do have a job, and they seem like, but they have a whole bunch of negative stuff, and this person did this to them, and you ain't do nothing. Red flag, because you can ready to sign yourself up on that road too, Chauncey.
Accountability on both parts. Like, what do you want for yourself? And why are you having babies for paychecks? Like, whether it's a high-end paycheck or a low-end paycheck, whatever it is you want to call it. Some doing it for a welfare check, some doing it for a check from a high-value man. Like, what do you want for yourself? And then what you want for yourself, what do you want for that child? It's one thing to find yourself in a predicament and then having to decide what to do. But it's a whole nother thing to just keep doing it over and over. But if there's a payoff for you in the end, then you need to look at yourself and evaluate yourself.
Yeah, that you're not even involving the child now. You just, but
it's about you.
Yeah, that come back to burn. You know what I mean? That come back to burn. Because I don't care unless you just like detach from life, and y'all correct me if you're wrong, because we all mothers here. Would you not want to be in a family type of situation?
Just with all the sexual diseases out there.
Yeah, commitment. I ain't never seen a paycheck big enough for 18-year commitment.
18.
No, we ain't been in the right circles apparently. But I mean, but ain't it just nasty, y'all? Like, if you like baby mama number 8, like, what's the likelihood of you having something or getting something?
Pretty high. If I was in the same world, I'm telling you, you look, and I was like childbearing age, I wouldn't have no kids. I'm gonna tell you that much because I'd be calming down from my head all the way down.
And here's the funny part. I'm not even in the childbearing age, and I am in the dating world. And so I met this guy recently, and he told me he had a 5-year-old. I want nothing to do with that. Nothing. I don't care if he got Mandingo there. I don't want none of it. Because you making just any, at this age, you're just making any kind of decisions.
That part.
I am so sorry.
That part.
You get serious with him, and then you got 15 more years of. I'm being honest.
And guess what? I know I don't have it, so I'm not even going to do that to the little girl. She cute as.
And you won't be serious because it won't get serious. It won't go any further because as soon as you got to go to Disney World again with old boy and the 5-year-old, like you ain't gonna be feeling it.
Out there in that heat trying to run through the sprinkler with a 5-year-old that ain't even yours. No, but
I'm so sorry, baby.
I'm not even making it through date 1 with that 5-year-old and their dad. Like I'm good, I'm straight.
That like nothing I wanted to go back and try with her again. I think you need to try.
Phone ring. Look, the phone ringing is a little funny. Brian, you got to bring some kids. It's a good. I'm gonna pass that kid.
It's hot dog day in school. We need $1.
First day of school pictures. No.
So, guys, so joining us on the porch today is
it's your girl Celeste, and I love kids, but
oh yeah,
it's your girl Chauncey. We ain't nobody bringing home no more babies. This is done.
Oh, Keisha.
And it's your girl Keisha. I have nothing to say after that.
Okay, and I'm your girl Kimmy. Join you. Oh Lord, we're gonna join you next week, y'all. Okay. All right. Take care. Take care of yourself and protect yourself. And don't be doing nasty, dirty things that get you in trouble. That's all I'm saying. Be good. Be good.
Abstinent.
Have a good one, y'all. Take care.
Bye.